Hello and welcome to our another video of improvement. In today's video, I'm going to explain some sort of things that are extremely important and what is something that is breaking your fluency. It is very important to understand what are some sort of things that are holding you back in order to continue with the process of your English language learning journey. So, in today's video, I'm going to talk about an amazing point that is called self-monitoring. Self-monitoring is a key feature of speaking, and I'm gonna explain it in a depth manner. What are some sort of things that we don't need to do about self-monitoring? So let's learn about what is this self-monitoring and how it affects your speaking. So firstly, I'm going to explain this term, what is this self-monitoring. So firstly, I'm going to explain this term self-monitoring in easy words. So when it comes to talk about this term, suppose if a learner who is speaking, okay, and that learner while speaking, hearing his voice, okay, all right, and at the same time, the learner is judging his pronunciation, accent, grammar, tone, and sentence structure. It could be anything, it could be vocabulary or something. So, whenever the learner is speaking, at the same time, the learner is judging his pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and other key features of his speaking. Or I would say that when the learner is speaking, while speaking, when you're speaking, at the same time you're thinking in your mind, you are passing some mental comments while speaking. So this process called self-monitoring. Suppose I'm speaking right now, and when I'm speaking and I'm asking question to myself in my mind, I'm not speaking, but I'm asking these questions silently while speaking. Is my sound was good? Is my accent perfect? Or sometimes we say in our mind, I should change this sentence. I think my previous sentence was not correct. So whenever we are speaking, at the same time, we are asking some sort of questions in our mind while speaking. So this process called self-monitoring. So when self-monitoring happens in that certain situation, you are not playing a role as a speaker, you are playing a role as an examiner as well, because you are speaking, it means you are playing a role as a speaker. You are trying to check your grammar, pronunciation, and some other key features of speaking. It means you are playing a role as an examiner. The speaker becomes both an examiner and a speaker. So we are doing both the things together. So sometimes there will be some sort of negative impacts that we see in our communication. So there are some sort of negative impacts. So whenever we are speaking and we are posing these kind of questions, we are hearing our voice and we are asking these kind of questions. How's my grammar? Is my grammar bad? Is my pronunciation incorrect? Something like that. So this is gonna create many problems for the speaker. So whenever you're speaking, you're talking to someone, so always just try to avoid this self-monitoring. When you're relying on self-monitoring, or you are a beginner or you are an intermediate level learner, so I would highly recommend avoiding self-monitoring while speaking. Because if you are doing many things together, because when we speak, so our main priority is clarity, but when you're speaking at the same time you're hearing your voice and you're just thinking in your mind, how's my grammar, pronunciation, so not only you are trying to speak, at the same time you are just trying to correct your mistakes, you are just focusing on your grammar and some other things. So here you are just trying to be a grammar checker. So what is something that is very important? When you're speaking, just try to be a speaker only. Don't try to be a grammar checker while speaking. And one thing that I always say, that whenever you're speaking, do not stop yourself in the middle of the sentence. Do not stop yourself in the mid of speech. So this is something which is extremely important and we should always prioritize this. And if we are not doing this, then we face a lot of problems. What happens in that case? Instead of paying attention to your message or the clarity, we start paying attention to our corrections or the grammar. This is gonna affect your fluency. Yes. And sometimes when you're thinking about all these things, you're getting through self-monitoring, so you will easily forget what you need to speak next. It means you will go through some sort of confusion. Somehow you will rely on long pauses and fillers. If we are prioritizing self monitoring, and whenever we are getting through this kind of situation, so definitely your speech becomes slow, and you are trying to speak but your attention is somewhere else, so definitely you will feel hesitant. Hesitation will be there. Your speech becomes fragmented. Yes, so these are some sort of problems that we face if we are prioritizing self monitoring. So whenever you are speaking, always you need to do avoid self monitoring. Instead of that, you can prioritize self evaluation, self assessment. What is that? Just record your voice, and after that, correct your mistake after listening to that audio or the video, whatever you have. And instead of correcting your mistakes in the middle of the sentence, instead of that, you can correct yourself after speaking. So this is the best way if you are an intermediate level learner or you are in the elementary stage of learning. So these are some sort of things we don't realize, but this is something that affects your fluency. This is something which is a fluency killer. Now I'm going to tell you some sort of things what you need to do and what not. So if you just want to overcome this problem, because I have seen most of the people, they have this kind of problem. So what is the first priority? Instead of thinking about your grammar perfection and some other things, your main purpose is explanation. Your main purpose is to express your idea. Just try to express your ideas. Explain your ideas clearly. And you just need to ask this thing to yourself. Is my message clear? Are they able to understand what I'm speaking? Instead of asking this, is my accent fine? Is my grammar correct? Or some other questions. Is my pronunciation perfect? Is my sentence structure great? So this is something which we need to do. Instead of focusing on self monitoring, you have to focus on explaining your ideas. Just try to explain your ideas clearly. Your message should be clear. And next thing here I'm going to tell you, that is simplify your message. Try to use simple sentences. Try to use simple English. Whenever you are using simple English, so there will be less monitoring. Whenever you are using quite complicated words, quite difficult vocabulary, so definitely you'll be relying on overthinking. When overthinking happens, definitely we invite this self monitoring. So if you are using simple words or simple sentences, you are just trying to use simple English, so there will be less monitoring. And if there is less monitoring, there will be more chances of more fluency. So this is something which we can do. So I would say that whenever you are speaking, your speech should be listeners focused. I mean to say that whenever you are speaking something, your main purpose, your message should be clear, your ideas should be clear, and listeners focused. Those people who are listening to you, are they able to understand? Are they able to understand your message, what you are trying to say? So this is something which matters a lot. So this is something which I just wanted to explain in today's video. So whenever you are speaking, always prioritize listener focused speech, because when you're focusing on your listeners, are they able to understand or not? So there will be proper clarity in your ideas, and the language which you are using, it will be simple. Apart from that, you will sound more natural and more fluent. So these are some sort of benefits that we can acquire. So as much as you can, just try to avoid self monitoring while speaking. And I personally feel that when I was learning this language, other people are making fun of your English, and constantly, if you are also judging yourself, so definitely there will be some sort of negative impacts which you can see. So rather than stopping yourself whenever you are getting wrong somewhere, so instead of doing so, you can do it after completing your speech. Otherwise, we face a lot of problems such as broken flow, lack of confidence, poor communication, and overcorrection is something that will put you in the trouble. So these are some sort of things which we should always ignore. And I personally feel that fluency dies when you listen to yourself, and fluency lives when you speak for someone else. So this is something which you need to keep in mind whenever you are speaking. I know it's very important to have a conversation with ourselves, but when you have a clear purpose that you are speaking for the audience, are they able to understand or not? And when you are speaking for yourself, you are just listening to yourself and you are correcting yourself in the middle of the sentences. So this is something which is not good. So here I would love to give you a bonus tip. Whenever you are speaking, never ask these questions. Whenever you're thinking in mind, don't think, is this correct? Never ask this question. Never think this question in your mind, is this correct? Instead of that, you can ask this question, is this clear? This is a good question that you can keep in mind, and you can ask yourself. So you can replace this question, is this correct? Replace it by, is this clear? Instead of asking, how do I sound? You can ask yourself, do they get it? What I'm trying to say, are they able to understand? Ask this question. And lastly, I would say that instead of asking this question, should I fix this? No, you don't need to fix anything while speaking. You have to fix it after completing speak. So just force yourself. Replace these questions. Should I fix it? Replace it by saying, should I continue? So instead of choosing fixing the mistake while speaking, you have to choose continue with the flow. So this is something which is extremely important, and these are some sort of thing that I just wanted to mention in today's video, and I hope you have assimilated all those things related to what is this self monitoring and how it affects your speaking. So whenever you are speaking, just try to avoid this self monitoring, and you can see a big transformation throughout the language journey of yours. So these are some sort of thing that I just wanted to mention in today's video, and I personally feel that what I have realized when I was learning this language and what mistakes that I was making. So I don't want you to make the same mistake, so that you can improve in a quick manner. Yes, whatever the mistakes that I've committed in my language learning journey, I don't want you to make the same mistake. It took me a lot of time to understand this is something that is holding me back. So I don't want you to make the same mistake that is gonna hold you back. And so these are some sort of thing that I just wanted to mention in today's video. Till then, keep learning and keep enhancing yourself. See you in the upcoming video with some amazing ideas like this. If you find this useful, do not forget to comment in the chat section if you learned something, only in that case. Otherwise, no problem. Take care.